Well, family and friends, I don't know what to tell you. Here I am in my study, and I want you to look at me. If you've ever seen a before and after picture, you're seeing the after. What I'm about to share with you may sound like the craziest thing you've ever heard. It does to me, even coming out of my mouth. But I can tell you this, what's happened in my body in the last few days has been the most remarkable thing in my life outside of my Christian salvation, my marriage. This has been the most significant thing that's ever happened to me in my body and my mind and my emotions, everything. Just a brief scenario here. First of all, I'm a skeptic. They've crammed so much medicine down me that I'm very skeptical of the very things I'm about to share with you. Second of all, I'm a trained researcher. My earned PhD, I was trained in qualitative and quantitative research. And so I have to have science. I've been about that since I've been a boy. Third, my health situation. From the time that Mayo Clinic diagnosed polymyositis in 2007, my health has been declining year after year after year. It hit a plateau when I had the heart attack, first of all, December 1st, roughly in 2013, the three stents on top of the polymyositis. It was horrible. Then a month later, another one and another stent placed. Since then, 2 years ago, I was hospitalized. Simultaneously, I had a sinus infection, severe bronchitis, and double pneumonia all at once. They find out later. I nearly died. My pulmonologist, Perotti, said, Gary, you have 40% minimum, maybe more, loss of breathing. For the last few months, 2024, my health decline kicked into high gear. That's all I know to say. I gave you the cardiology report. My cardiologist came back after the echocardiogram and said, Gary, it's not good. Your heart muscle has increased in thickness. Your heart is dilating. And I said, well, what does that mean? He said, well, usually it's a precursor to heart failure. Your blood pressure is out of control. We can't seem to, we're running out of medications. I'm going to give you new meds. I'm ordering 3 new labs. I'm ordering a CTA scan from your waist to your neck. I'm setting up to go. We're going to have to go in there and see what's going on. I said, another invasive heart cath? He said, yes. This time, I know you've had 4 in the past through the groin. We'll go through the arm into the heart this time. We have to find out. And then I'm also going to put you as the first client in the Baptist healthcare system in San Antonio on the new procedure for going into the kidney and killing some of those nerves so that we end up affecting your blood pressure to lower it without meds. And the pulmonologist had me on albuterol rescue inhaler, Symbicort inhaler, had labs done, a CT on my sinuses and chest, and ran allergy tests on me, and not a lot he could do. The Symbicort made me crazy, and Peggy and you and Jim know that. I just couldn't do it. Now, all of this, Maureen is putting up with daily. And for those of you who don't know, Maureen is my beautiful wife of many years, many decades. She's the most pragmatic, non-excitable person on the earth. But she has sat on my bedside at night, as have my boys and their girls, and we've cried and said, Lord, is this Gary's time? And I literally have felt like I was dying, like somebody pulled the plug, and I was draining my life away. I would wake up after 3 hours sleep, struggling to get a breath. This inhaler right here is the rescue inhaler. I'm supposed to use twice as I have to, maybe twice a day. Oh, I would get up and suck on this 10 times. And then I would rush to get my nebulizer. and try to do a treatment there, one or two or three of those in a 24-hour period. It was so bad that I couldn't get the first 3 or 4 breaths into me enough to even matter. Then I would take and still prescribe 5, 6 pills in the morning, blood pressure, 1 in the afternoon, and 4 in the evening. I would take 2 nasal inhalers, on and on, the meds, and I felt like I was dying. I get this report from the cardiologist and nothing but bad news. All right. Maureen comes in, my wife comes in, and she says, there's a relative that has started, he sounds like you. He says he tried a product that saved his life because he had severe breathing issues like you. And she told me his name. His name is Rod. And I said, well, maybe Rod believes in this voodoo crap. I do not. And knowing him back from his previous days, maybe he's into multi-level marketing. I don't care about that. Well, what is it? It's I don't know, some product. Well, what is it? I don't know. But were you willing to try it? And I said, no, I don't know. I'm not going to mix a product in with all this med I have. And that was it. Well, a few days later, Maureen walks into my study. We both get up about 5 in the morning, and she plops down this packet. Boom. X39. I said, what is that? And she said, this is what Rod's taking. And I said, well, what is it? And she said, it's a patch. And I said, no, I'm not doing a transdermal patch. I'm not going to insert She said, it's not medicated. It's a light, a phototherapy. And she said, and I said, I don't care about that. I want science to work on my body. And she said, so what do you have to lose? The doctor says you're dying. I'm witnessing a decline every day in my life. You're not willing to try it? And I said, whatever. All right, well, put it on me. And so she puts it on my spine, below my neck. And I said, fine. And I go about my day. It takes me at that point about 2 hours in the morning with nebulizer treatments to get to where I can talk at all. I'm still consulting. I'm still trying to do some writing. I'm still doing other things. As the day begins to unfold, my body starts sending me reports that my mind doesn't want to accept. Here's an example. One of the first things I noticed was the breathing. The next morning after she gave me and put on one of these patches, I woke up. I wasn't in anxiety and sucking for air. I gave myself one shot of this and I thought, I can breathe. In fact, I'm breathing pretty darn well. That's the report from my body. My mind said, nah, just go on. I didn't have to. The half a box of Kleenex I used every night and every morning trying to cough up things to get breathing, I'm sorry to be so gross, didn't happen. Now, during the day, and this has happened almost daily since 2007, since I was diagnosed with polymyositis, this muscle degenerative disease, no known cure, no known cause, every day or every other day, or certainly by every third day, I would have this, what I would tell my family, it's like full body sickness. It would come over me. I would be so fatigued and sick, it felt like I fell off a cliff. And if I could lay down for about 15 minutes and I could recover, and I would take inhaler and nitroglycerin. By the way, I was taking anywhere from 2 to 6 to 7 nitro a day trying to breathe. I would have a little activity like walking from the car into a restaurant. Got so bad that Maureen would have to drop me off at the door because I would go into spasms, have to suck on the inhaler and take 2 to 3 nitro, or I felt like I would pass out and die. I haven't had a nitro. I haven't had my inhaler. I slept through the night. All right, these are messages that my body's sending me, and my mind says, okay. And Maureen is saying, Gary, you even look different. And I went by her office today and I was smiling and I said, it is so fun to feel good. I haven't had one of those fatigue spells. I'm still taking my blood pressure. By the way, let me tell you how bad it's been. And my family knows this. I woke up one morning, it was 230 over 132. That was my blood pressure. I took my meds and I was able to get it down to 185 over 114. And then finally, by the end of the day, after medicating myself like crazy, calling the cardio, he doubled two of the medicines. I got it down to 175 over 100. That's the best I could do. And I felt miserable, sucking for air to breathe, my blood pressure. Maureen said, Gary, this was like 2 days into it. Have you taken your blood pressure? And I said, no, but it's under control. I took it. It was 155 over 71. It hadn't been that in decades. So I thought, well, my machine is wrong. So I took it again. No, it showed the same thing within a point. I took it a third time. It was 2 points difference in all three of them. What is happening? I continue, and I still continue to take my blood pressure meds, but it's beginning to be apparent that I'm going to have to pare back on them because my blood pressure is better. Again, I'm telling you, this sounds fantastical. It sounds too good to be true. And that's what my brain keeps telling my body every time my body reports something different. This morning, I went to get a haircut. He did a pretty good job. And my barber said, boy, you look good. What's up? I wanted to tell him, but I didn't. I wanted to jump up and down and say, you need to try this X39. By the way, Maureen went ahead and signed up so we could get a discount on these, and they're not that expensive. Actually, I figured what I'm spending on copay on meds, it's more than what a month's supply of that costs. Plus, she's allowed to make, if you want to sign up under my wife, and she can help you get discounts, and she gets a little commission if there's enough of it. It works. I don't care about any of that. Well, I do, I guess, that she can make something off of it. What I care about is the before and after. I can't even begin to describe to anyone who doesn't know me, who any in my family or close friends, who hasn't seen this year after year after year, who hasn't looked into my eyes or heard me wheezing or seen the sadness and fatigue in my eyes and looks at me now, they're going to say, this is miraculous. And I'm going to tell you, yes, it is. Well, you think this is from God? I do. You say, well, you think, yes. When I got out of surgery and they put 4 stents in me and my heart was working right again, someone said, do you think that's from God? And I said, yes, I think the procedure and the physicians God gifted, and he allowed them to put something in me, a process, a procedure, devices that let my vascular system work. It saved my life. Do I think that this has saved my life? I do. If you had heard me try to suck for air and breathe the past 4 months, you would have thought that I need to go on and die and go to heaven to stop suffering and causing my wife and kids to suffer. I don't know what to tell you. Here I am, no blazer, no shirt and tie, in my t-shirt, but I'm excited to tell you, I'll be giving you more reports on this thing. I'm not saying you have to try it, but I'm saying you probably ought to try it. Maureen got on them. She's healthy as a horse, and we're going to see what it does for her. I have such a contrasting before and after. It's unbelievable. I have years and years of documentation on what it's been doing to me that are in the doctor's offices, in my medical records. And then since then, look at me. If you're family, you're going to see what's in my eyes and what's on my face and what's in my smile and what's in my voice. I'm telling you, I've never encountered a product like this since I have been on this planet. This is Gary W. Boyd, PhD, telling you I am not crazy. This stuff works. Let's talk more.